Hey everyone, as a lot of you guys know, we're nearing the last week of this alpha season of Origin. Since my last video, I sort of hit a wall in between top 100 and top 200, and I kept crafting runes hoping that I would get something good. And luckily, just as the season is nearing its end, I rolled or crafted a Raven's Tactic epic rune for birds. The only problem is that I didn't have any bird that could really utilize this rune to its potential. Luckily for me, I decided, hey, let me look back at my old Axies. I have a huge collection of Axies in old accounts that I haven't really looked at in a while. Maybe in there I could find something that I missed over the years. And lo and behold, I did find something. I ended up finding a beautiful bird Axie, number 4163. I bought this Axie back in 2018. I have no idea why I bought it. Maybe I just liked its parts, but it has resurfaced right for this meta because it has a lot of good parts. And with this Axie, I've been able to get into the top 50 of all of the Origin Alpha going on, and that's nuts. And I feel like I have the potential to push higher with it. So anyways, guys, enough talking about this. Let's get started. All right, so let's get into the runes and charms of this build. First off, we have a team like this. The front tank is just an aqua, which heals. Middle tank is like something that pulls away with the plant with cactus. And the last one is the new Axie. As you can see, it looks very unique for being a bird Axie. It has different parts. But let's get started right here with the midliner as usual. Midliner, nothing much has changed from my previous video. Still use the tough strike rune on it. It's pretty solid for this Axie. Important parts for this Axie, of course. Cactus is so vital. Pumpkin, carrot, like these are all staples for this build. These two front ones can vary a little bit, but preferably get damage runes if you can. And obviously the star for this build is always Earwing. AoE gives you the ability to deal with summons and just a lot of taunting that your opponent can do. So Earwing can give you some burst damage to hit all of your opponents at once. And as far as the charms for this one, as usual, just a lot of vitality. Vitality is one of the best stats in this game. So vitality, I got a few nice runes here, but overall, if you just have regular vitality runes, just use those. I gave Cactus a little bit more power because when it hits, it'll hit like a truck basically, and also giving a little power to the Earwing as well. But as you can tell, everything is vitality because this will be pulling in Axies with Cactus, and it needs to be able to survive that extra damage that it's going to take. And as far as our tank Axie, it's an aqua again. Basically, this aqua Axie, we're just trying to make it survive a lot. So we're going to give it leftover potion, recovers 4% of your max HP. This is a common rune. And as far as staples for this card, I would say double anemone and Nemo are staples. Especially for this build, I would recommend trying to get a confident if you can. It definitely helps making Fury builds, and it helps against a lot of defensive teams. Little Peas is also obviously really good in this meta, and Tiny Fin is good as well, but not necessary. These three, though, try to get them for sure. And as far as the runes, as you could tell, they're all basically vitality runes. I've been a little lucky in crafting some vitality runes, but basically as many vitality runes as you can get, put in common ones, because you want this Axie to survive. HP is so vital for the tank. You need to give it everything you have. All right, so let's get to the closer, the one that's different in this build for sure. It's going to be this bird Axie right here, number 4163. Basically, a lot of you guys won't have this rune, but you can substitute it for Tough Strike if you like. But this rune's name is Raven's Tactic. It's an epic bird rune, and it basically gives you 20% bonus damage when you're above 50%. And if you're below 50%, you start reducing damage by 20%. So it's a good offensive / defensive, depending on the HP that your Axie has. As far as parts that I would recommend, Little Branch is always really good for Fury builds like I like to play. So Little Branch is a staple. Tiny Dino is a staple. As you guys know, Tiny Dino allows you to retain and hold this card throughout the game for a perfect situation to use it. Super strong in the meta, as well as thinning out your deck, which is really good. But here's the interesting parts of this build. So those are two are staples. I would strongly recommend getting one with Rosa. It's really hard to find this on a bird, believe me. I had to look deep to find this one, but Rosa is really good. Uh, Probably, I would almost want to say Rosa is one of the most broken cards in the game. But right now with the meta and there not seeming to be another update before the season ends, I would say Rosa is one of the most broken cards because it just allows you to trade so well. You can stun your opponents. So try to get Rosa if you can. Mosquito and all these other cards are just optional. They were just cards that came with it. Those other cards, though, are the main ones. But Mosquito and healing ones have proven to me that they're really good, actually, as I've been playing testing it. And Mavis, of course, gives you more energy to just keep doing so much damage. As far as the charms for this one, I'm going to say a lot of vitality. Always, HP is so important. So get as much vitality as you can on that Axie. You want it to live longer so it can do more damage over time with the tiny dino. But as far as damage, just try to give as much vitality as you can. But of course, use powers or things that increase your damage if you don't have as many vitality. That's why I switched up right here to give a few of my cards a little bit more damage. All right, so let's see this build in action. We're gonna go here. We start off. First off, we're playing against Elijah. You know, Elijah and me, huge rivalry. We're playing against each other. He's running right now a triple Rosa, Cactus, Carrot team. Rosa, like I said before, is a little bit broken, I feel right now. He's running 3 of them to my 1 that I'm using. Who will win this epic matchup between me and the greatest V2 player ever, Elijah? All right, we're going to put in right here our taunt here. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to defend. He has a lot of damage. I can see he does a lot of damage. But basically, he hits me with the Scarab right away. He doesn't want my Axie to heal, which is good. And he's just putting in a lot of pressure to that front Axie. I need to draw a Cactus or that front Axie might die really fast before there's anything. He put Fear on me as well. It's a tough thing that's going on right here. Boom! I do AoE to him right away because that build of his actually suffers against AoE. Do a little bit of Carrot. And I did not draw the Cactus that I needed, so that front Axie might die for me right here, which is a big problem for me. So he does Cactus me, and I don't see any future for my Axie, but then he kills the bird with the Scarab. Very crazy move right there. And he fails to kill my Axie because he went to kill the bird. He saw the bird as a big threat, and honestly, probably should have finished off the Axie. But here we go. Cactus back into him. Now I got the Cactus. Now he can't go for that front Axie anymore. I'm just blowing through him with damage. 160 damage. My bird does so much damage right now. He's having to like recover a little bit. He's like, oh my gosh, taunt away from my Axies. He's gonna kill them all if he gets to them. So he's just putting on the pressure. As you could see, he's doing everything he can, and wow, he almost kills my plant, even with all the vitality that it has. So here comes my turn, and of course I need to get more damage. Going in Cactus first is usually the best move for damage. I'm healing up a little bit my frontliner because my frontliner needs to live a little bit longer. I go in for some damage and another bit of damage. 102 damage right there from my bird. It's doing a lot, and then boom, I use the Rosa. Even though I feel it was a poor use of it, killing an Axie on this lineup is very good. So he's just going for damage again, going Cactus, going his usual Confuse, adding stuff to my deck, and he has double Rosa. I think he should have gone with one of the 2 Rosas, but he really wanted to use one right now. He misses my back Axie, and I think this is starting to sound like the end for Elijah. Boom, do a lot of damage. Both of his Axies right there, as you could tell. The Mosquito healed me back a little bit. Both of his Axies right now are in kill position for my back Axie. He's really trying hard to get to it. Using Cactus, he's using everything he can to stay alive against it. But he's in a lot of trouble. Elijah's in a lot of trouble here. He hasn't faced a team like this probably before. And his front Axie's dead. He put up a little bit of armor to block something, but it doesn't matter. He's done. The game is over. Elijah's been defeated. The champ, Chuck Fresco, has returned to Origin. And like I always tell Elijah, this is not V2 anymore. We got to relearn our techniques and stuff. But congrats to Elijah. He's playing in the top rank right now. It's an honor always to play someone for Meta 8 for me, since they're like considered the most pro players, I believe. So it was a really great matchup. So that was my Fury Bird build. It's honestly a very strong build together, and I was just very fortunate to craft the Ravens tactics so late into the season. I was just having basic rolls or common rolls throughout the season, and I finally hit something good. The beauty of Origin is that it just gives you this ability to be very creative, to find new builds. There's so many parts, so many runes, so many charms, that the configuration of a lot of these things can make a difference. I especially love that it shows the value of Axies. Like this bird Axie I got back in 2018, and back then it wasn't that good for the meta, but I picked it up probably because it had really unique parts, and lo and behold, it has returned at a later date, and it's awesome. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. Also, if you would like to support me, please use the Lunosian code that's below. It's on the screen right now. You don't need to use it, but if you're wanting to support me in that way, please do so. I'll be sure to look into who's actually using it at a later time and hopefully showcase you guys in the future. Anyways, that ends it for this video. Take care, and I'll see you guys all next time.